in each of the banks, there's like 10 presets. The presets are particular, like if you think about them like Morse code, short, long, or like, strobe or non-strobe patterns, that kind of thing. And they're set with particular colors, but you can adjust the colors within the pattern within the bank. And then you can also save the presets that you do. So like once you do that, you can save it. Or if you shut the lights off from that thing that you just adjusted, it will stay at that the next time you turn it on. So that's kind of cool. I think bank 3 is like the performance bank on those, and it's the super bright mode. So it's probably the one that'll blind you at home. Banks 1 and 2 I use a lot, and I'm pretty sure bank 5 is the programmed shit. So if you wanted to go to like say bank 3, what you have to do is you go 1, 2, 3, and see how the light blinked 3 times? Now it took me into that bank, and this is the first one of the 10 presets in the bank. And then you go, boom, that's the second one. That's the third one. That's the fourth one. That's the fifth one, right? And you see how it's just taking you through them one at a time through the bank. And then, in theory, if I counted properly, okay, and then it shuts off at the end, right? But if you wanted to go to bank 1, you can press it 6 times and it'll bring you to bank 1. So if I wanted to go to bank 4, so those 4 beeps tell you what bank it is when you turn it on. You can do a battery check by when you press and hold just the right amount. This is the thing about the one button thing. You have to get accustomed to how much you have to press and hold. But what you do is, so that it blinked green, that means it's fully charged. So it's red to green. Green is go. Red is red is you're screwed. Red is go charge it. And then what actually happens with the light though, when like before it actually dies, it like for a brief period of time it does this very weak light. Bank 5 is where you set it up to actually pair the two of them together. There is a really good video online. He shows you how to actually pair them, but you have, in my experience, it's best to stop, like look at it once, then go back and stop the video as you go and do the steps one at a time to pair the two of them together. Because then what happens is when you turn on one, the other one will match it. And then you don't have to set the two of them at the same time. Alternately, you can do this crazy business where you hold them at the same time and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to bank 2. Right, that didn't work. Oh, it did work. Okay, they both went to bank 2. Nice. Okay, and then I want to go all forward through them together. Well, that's pretty. Ooh, watermelon. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I haven't actually looked at the manual for these. And everything I've tried on here that worked on my pod poi worked on here. Because Sean and Prisna are amazing that way. Why relearn something when you know how to do it? Yeah. That's why I condemn him with these, despite the fact that I've never looked at the manual. And then if you wanted to see what the actual patterns were, the PDF will show you what the what the trail should look like in a, in a continuous frame. You can change the color of the light within the mode. So you could be using the same strobe effect, but you could have one of them, like this one's like orange and yellow and red. I could do one that's like blue and green and whatever on the other side. So they're contrasting, but they have the same pattern, if that makes sense. Oh, there it is. It's changing color. It's the same pattern, but see how it's changing color now? So I just pressed and held, but just the right amount of time. So this is like a blue and violet based one now. And then you press again to get it to set to that color. And so now if I turn them both off, which you could do a long press to just turn them off instead of going through the banks. Now when I do like the short press to turn it on, it turns it back on to where it was.